Good day and welcome to another episode of Fbtv. Not a great weekend for any of the teams wearing green. Springboks going down to the Palms at Newlands and False Bay going down to Marties for the first time in 4 years at Fortress False Bay. Just play the clip. Welcome to all our international guests. The rain is pouring down here in southwest Constantia as False Bay take on Marties. Sia gets it. Sia pumps it downfield looking for territory. Great kick by the young 10. False Bay on the board, 3 points. Thank you, Nani. Another great touch finder by that young man, Sia. Top stuff, lad. Rain pouring down, False Bay. Oh, Flum head first into that man's crotch region. False Bay on defense again. Brandon Wood with a fabulous fresh cut. False Bay winning the penalty here. Ball up, Olivia gets the turbo diesel running, taking the ground. Van Dieman stepping, looking for space. That man running 40 meters. Come on. Marty's on attack. Snoopy with a massive hit again. Last week we received a comment asking if the False Bay bars are still a thing down at the Bay. Unfortunately, due to the drought, the False Bay bars are unfortunately out of order. But this week's story time, we cross over to Mark Davids, who's going to tell us his favourite False Bay bar time story.
Like in terms of like anecdotes, this is probably now Kali called myself and Damien Kellerman at the same time. I want to say my best mate going up through school. We caught a lot of things at Weinberg that we shouldn't have. But so Damien joins same time as me, and just before he leaves, one of his moments of pure genius. So we're sitting in the bath post Poiki Day.
Before water restrictions.
Yeah. So before water restrictions, correct. We're sitting in the. If anyone's been lucky enough to go into that bathtub, it's got plenty of stories in there. But we're sitting in that bathtub, and got bubble bath going. It's great. It's cold outside. And Damien goes, Ux, we're running out of beer. We need more beer. I said, well, if you can call someone to get us some beer, it's fantastic. It'll be great. But otherwise, we're stuck here. He goes, don't worry. I've got this. Walks into the changing room, gets his wallet, comes back to the tub, picks up a hand of foam, puts it on the front of his
reproductive
sensitive area, and proceeds to walk into the clubhouse, stand at the bar, and order a case of beer.
That's phenomenal.
No shame. Just stood there, looked at people, waved, got the case of beer, walked back into the change room. We had beers.
On this week's VSJ, we have 2017 Currie Cup winning captain Chris Van Zyl. Let's cross over to Newlands for possibly the last time. Extend your plan with Motor Direct. Keep moving. On this week's episode of VSJ, we have a very special guest in the big form of Chris. Welcome to the show, Bugger.
Thanks very much, TV.
Thanks so much for joining us. Just give our viewers a quick sort of intro of after finishing at Rondebosch, your future leading to here.
Yeah, TV. So I completed my studies at Rondebosch and then went off to Stellenbosch University to pursue the career as an accountant.
Okay.
BCom Financial Accounting. Got involved in the Corsairs vibe there. Started playing rugby. I was quite a late developer, so I played, from Corsairs rugby through to under 19 Bs, and then made my way up through to probably the pinnacle being the Varsity Cup competition.
Okay.
From there, I achieved my honours in accounting and went up to Joburg to complete my training contract with Deloitte, my articles. Fortunate enough to play some great rugby with Pirates at the time. Got involved in the Lions amateur setup. At the end of my first year there, got invited by Johanna Ackerman to the Super Rugby side.
Oh, lekker.
And from there, spent 2 full years there with the Lions, and then came back at the beginning of 2015 back to Western Province, and with John Dobson and Robbie Fleck at the Stormers.
Any highlight that sticks out for you?
I think it would probably be winning the Currie Cup last year in 2017 as a captain was something really special. 3 years coming with John Dobson as head coach. So it felt like a culmination of some hard work and some good socials and very special times.
Out of rugby, talk to us about.
So I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I followed through there, and Deloitte was very good to me. They encouraged the career of a professional sportsman while completing my articles. And now I've since completing my articles, I founded a bookkeeping, accounting, tax and compliance company called Walworth Consulting.
Perfect.
And we specialize in offering these services to entrepreneurs and small to medium-sized enterprises in South Africa and Cape Town.
Do you have a favorite story of someone you play with now or did play with?
Nothing in particular, but I mean the one story I wanted to share with you guys was because he's such a False Bay legend, old Snoopy, and he's the one that gave me the call to come onto the show. Snoopy was kind enough to once let the Curry Cup boys, province guys, get a keg of beer that he organised through me. He bought it over the afternoon. I explained to him, that I understood how the machine worked, and he was happy. And he said, though, he would come back late and just make sure that it was in working tact. And so at about 9 o'clock, he arrived just to check if the keg was still working. And it was probably 45 minutes later that Snoop Dogg was without kit and singing the Welsh anthem. So, I mean, that's pretty much Snoopy summed up, and I remember that specifically, a great story.
And then just before we finish up, I don't know if you've seen the False Bay half-half.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You finish that, my friend. You got to finish that.
Sorry, wrong one.
No stress. Shot, Chris. Cheers. This week's competition is brought to you by Motorplan Direct. Win a 12,000 Rand service simply by sharing this video and click on the Motorplan Direct link below. Boom, nailed it. This week's Fierce Clip of the Week is proudly brought to you by Marion Wall. Don't forget to register on Sporting Bet by following the link below. Sporting Bet will double your first deposit up to the value of 2,000 Rand. We'll see you all this Saturday down at the Bay as False Bay look to bounce back against old rivals SK Wilmers. We'll see you there. Cheers for now.